Okay, now example 9. Now we're taking a look at example 9 in 2.2, looking at the equations of circles. Alright, so example 9 here, let's take a look. We have x squared plus y squared equals 81. So, find the equation for the upper half and lower half, right half and left half of a circle. I know it looks a little more challenging than it actually is. It's actually not that challenging. Okay, so basically look at it like this. To solve for y, that will find the upper and lower half. So let's solve for y. That's what we're going to do. So take this and solve for y. I'm going to move the x squared over. That's what I do. So now that I did that, let's square root both sides. And remember, whenever you square root, you get a plus or minus. So here's my equation, plus or minus square root of 81 minus x squared. Okay, so I have plus or minus 81 minus x squared, all that's under a root. If you were to guess what is positive and what is, or sorry, we have positive and negative. If you were to guess what's the upper half and the lower half, the upper half would be the positive square root of 81 minus x squared, and the negative would be the lower half, right? Which one is upper and which one's the lower? Positive is upper, negative is lower. That's all that really is, okay? But we need to find the left and the right now. So to find the left and the right, if we solved for y to find the upper and lower, now we're going to solve for x to find the right and the left. So when I solve for x, I square root it once again, you get plus or minus. And when you're doing this, now that you have your plus and your minus, right, which one do you think is the right and the left? Well, positive is going to be your right side, just like it's the positive area of your positive area of the quadrants, right? And the negative is going to be the left. So we want to graph these two now and see where they intersect. So to graph those, I find my x and y-intercept. We already did this problem. If you remember, we square rooted. We found out, oh yeah, plus or minus square root of 3, which is negative 1.73 and positive 1.73. So negative 1.73 is about there, and positive 1.73 is about there. To find the y-intercept, you make x equals 0, so we find that the y-intercept is negative 3. So it's 1, 2, 3 right there. So there is the x and y-intercepts, and there is your graph for y. To graph this one, it crosses at negative 1, so I put a point at negative 1. It goes up to right 1, up to right 1, and I plot my points. And it's crossing here, it's intersecting, and it's intersecting there. So we're going to use a calculator to graph those two lines. So what you want to do is you go to y equals, you graph for y1, make that x squared minus 3. For y2, make that 2x minus 1, and press graph, and notice that they both show up. Press second and calc, which is basically the trace button, second trace. So if you press second trace, you see where it says intersect there? That's number 5. So first curve is what it's going to ask you for. Move your cursor close to one of the intersection points and press enter. Then you want to do the same thing again, but you're going to do it on the other line. And it's going to say guess, and it's guessing at about negative 0.73, negative 2.46 as one of them. So you go to second trace again, intersect, and we know that it's going to cross somewhere up here, so going close, and we end up getting 2.73 and 4.46 as our guesses of where it crosses. Okay,